guys, welcome to or back to my channel. If you've never seen my face before, my name is LenaLuciia and I'm back at you with another video. And today we are talking about my MacBook Pro, which if you have seen the previous video, I have bought myself a MacBook Pro and I unboxed it with you. And now we are talking about customizing it. So this is what the exterior looks like. And I'm just going to show you like screen recording so you can see my actual screen. This is what it looks like now. I just wanted to share with you guys how I kind of made this and yeah, the steps that I took to make it look like it does, because I really love the way it looks. I'm going to put up a little overview of what we're going to talk about in this video so you guys can just check the timestamps and go to wherever you want to go in case you already know some of that stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the video of customizing my MacBook Pro. Okay, cool. So I first want to talk about the exterior because I feel like this is what you first basically look at. So I actually just bought a clear MacBook case, and you just gotta make sure that you buy the right one because there are some differences to the models and obviously in which year they released and all that stuff. So just make sure that you buy the right one. And I just got this off of Amazon, and I'm gonna have all the links down below so you can check them out. And I also got all the stickers off of Amazon, and I actually wanted to get them off of Redbubble, but I was kind of impatient and I didn't want to like look through all of that stuff. And also I think Redbubble actually does come from America. I think they produce some of the stuff locally, but I just wasn't too sure on when they're gonna ship, so I just decided to get a bunch of stickers from Amazon. And by a bunch I mean literally like thousands. I feel like I have 500 stickers now, which I love because I can put them on anything else as well. And yeah, I just got the packs. I'm gonna also insert the links to the packs that I got down below. And I basically just mix and match all of this. And as you can tell, obviously I'm going for like a yellow, bluish, white vibe, which is very much me. Like the sun and the ocean basically is what this embodies for me. And which is also like so nice to look at because every time I look at it, I'm like, ah, the sun and the ocean, obviously. So yeah, that's what I did. But there are also a ton of like pinkish and reddish stickers, or purple ones were also a lot of there. Also, you can just make it all white, or maybe if you prefer green. Like there are a ton of options that you could customize this. And you can also just put them on like everywhere so it's fully covered, which I think is really cool as well. But I just kind of like this spaced out, organized kind of thing because I actually am a very OCD-ish person. So yeah, I like to have everything like in order. That's just me. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna have all of these things linked down below so you can just put that on your MacBook if you feel inspired from mine. And now let's get into the more so interior stuff. Okay, so first of all, what I think is most important and also what really helps you to kind of work with your MacBook is the gestures and the overall navigation. So for that, I'm just gonna show you a couple of screen captures so you can really get what I'm saying and what I'm showing you, and you know where to click what. So first of all, you go into System Preferences and then you click Trackpad. And I really like to have this point to click or tap to click button on because I just like to just tap my trackpad in order to click. That's just what I prefer. So I would definitely suggest that you turn this on, but this is obviously totally up to you. And then go on to more gestures, and I actually clicked all of them except for App Expose, just because I don't really think that I would be using that, so that's why I left that out. But every single other thing I ticked because I just love the way that you can work with those gestures. It's just really, it makes working on like different platforms and that kind of thing really easy. I'm just quickly gonna explain to you what the gestures do. So the first one is that you take two fingers and you swipe left and right, and that basically just swipes in between pages. That's all it does. So if you are on Google, for example, and you Google something and you want to go back to the original search, you can just swipe left and then you will go back to the original search. Then you can have three fingers and swipe left and right, and that swipes in between full screens, which basically means that if you have one full screen with your email and then one full screen with your web browser, you can swipe with three fingers and you can swipe in between those two pages or three pages, or depending on how many pages that you open, which I think is really convenient and just, yeah, really nice to have and to know. Next, you can take two fingers and swipe from the right edge into the trackpad, which basically opens this notification bar on the right, which is just cool to see what the weather is going to be like or what your next appointment is, that kind of stuff. That's also like really easy and really quick. Then the next one, which I use a ton and I love that one, is that you take three fingers and you swipe up on your trackpad, which basically gives you an overview. It's called Mission Control. So it just makes every window a little smaller and you can see all of the windows windows on your desktop, which is really cool to kind of see, okay, how many windows do I have open, because sometimes there's like 1,000 things like Pages, Keynote, email, 2 web browsers, photos, all that stuff, and it just gets a little bit crowded. So that's really nice to just see what you actually need and what you maybe don't need anymore, and you can also just easily switch in between all of those different apps, as you might call them, which is just really cool to know. Then the next two are basically your 3 fingers and your thumb, and you either pinch or you spread them. So if you pinch your fingers, your 3 fingers and your thumb on your what is it called? On your trackpad, it launches the launch pad, which basically just means that you see all the applications that you have on your computer all in one place. So all of this like Pages, email, system preferences, keynotes, iMovie, all of that stuff, you can just see that all, which yeah, I think is also really cool. And if you do it the other way around, if you spread them, it shows your desktop, which I think is so important, because all the screen recordings, for example, I take are immediately saved on desktop. And also I think it's just so easy if you want to kind of edit a picture or something, you just quickly throw it onto your desktop and then you can just spread it and find it and see and then put it elsewhere. I just feel like that is so convenient, because I actually use my desktop a lot of like a mid storage kind of thing, like in between actions. So I think that is really cool, because it's just makes it a little bit easier to navigate. So yeah, those were all the gestures that I frequently use and that I love, and that I don't think I could be working as effectively without them. So I think I would let you guys know as well. Okay, so now on to some settings that are just, I think, really cool. So first, how to make your dock disappear down below, because I don't like the look of it being out all the time, just because, as I said, like OCD, I want everything nice and neat and straight. So that's why I make it disappear. So to do that, you just basically go onto System Preferences, then go onto Dock, and then just click Make Dock Disappear, which I think says Hide and Show Dock automatically. And you just click that, and then it just comes up if you go down with your cursor. The next thing that is really convenient, but that I have only introduced to my gesture thing recently, is hot corners. And to do hot corners, you just basically go onto System Preferences again, then go onto Desktop and Screensaver, go onto Screensaver, I believe, and then click hot corners. It's in the right hand corner down below, and then you can just customize your hot corners as for how you want them to be and where you want which thing to go. And I actually only have one hot corner for the bottom left corner, because I feel like at the top left I always go into sleep mode or turn the MacBook on and off, and then the right corner down below is for like YouTube if I want to open and close things. And yeah, that's why I only use the left hand corner. I don't know, I'm not really used to that just yet, but I think it's a really cool feature. And yeah, you can just quickly access your screensaver and all of that stuff. It's maybe a little bit also about saving battery life. The next thing, which is so easy but I think is so cool, is accent colors. And to change your accent color, which the default accent color on MacBooks is just blue. So to do that, you again go into System Preferences and then go into General, and then you just click whatever color you want. I personally clicked yellow just because I love yellow. Yeah, you could also just go for pink, red. I think they have gray. What else do they have? I feel like they have just a full rainbow and gray. So that is really cool, and it's like a really easy step to just customize your MacBook. It literally takes 1 second and it's so much fun. And you could technically also change your highlighting color. So you could probably do yellow as like your accent color, and then everything that you highlight is, for example, green, which would also be really cool. So that is definitely one of my favorite tips and one of the things I love most about customizing. So the next thing is how to install this clock screensaver thing that actually a lot of people already have, and you might already know this, but if you do, just skip right ahead to the next part. But if you don't know how to install a flip clock screensaver, then all you have to do is actually just Google flip clock screensaver, and it will show you a website called FlipGlow. I will have it on the screen, and you just click that, and then you click the 3 lines at the top right, and you open it and go down to for Mac, and you just download that, and it's completely free. It's also safe, so don't worry. And yeah, you just download that, then click onto it as soon as it's offered, and click on Saver, and it might ask you like a safety question, and just yeah, you just have to basically answer that, and then it's automatically installed, and it opens up as soon as your MacBook goes to sleep, basically. Then onto the literal coolest thing that I found out, which I love so much, and it is that you can actually change your folder icons, which, you know, the folders, you can actually change that to anything that you would like to have on your desktop. So for me, that was a green Jeep, because I love Jeeps. They're like my favorite cars ever, and one day I maybe will own a Jeep. Fingers crossed. But yeah, to do that, you basically just look up your desired icon on Google or whatever search engine you have, and it may already come with a transparent background. And if you find an icon like that, then it's perfect. You can just skip the next couple of steps. But if you do not, which is not a problem at all, you just download the icon, then open it in preview, and then you're gonna click markup, which is this little pencil within a circle, and you're gonna click the magic wand. And with this magic wand, you're gonna select the background and just click delete. And then you may have to convert the icon into a PDF, I think, or a PNG, I'm not too sure, but click convert because that's easier to do. And once you've converted the image and you've deleted the background, you basically don't have a background anymore. So then you're gonna get out of markup, just depress, I don't know, just unselect the markup tool. And then you're basically just gonna drag a window over your icon and make it as close as possible so the icon is as big as possible. And then you're just gonna click Command C, which is copy, and then open a new folder or create a new folder. Open it on the right click so you can go to get info, and then you just click on the very little folder icon that's up on the very left and click Command V, which is basically just paste, and then you have your picture or your icon as your folder, which again I just love so much. It's like my favorite feature of this whole thing. So yeah, that's how you do that, and I love it, and I think you should definitely do that too. And so for the last thing, which is also something that I think gives it so much more character, I used to have just random pictures that change for my desktop image basically, which I also love, but for this I just really wanted something that motivates me, that gets me going, that makes me happy, that makes me feel like it's okay to always sit at this desktop or at this laptop in these corona online times. So yeah, all you have to do is first obviously get inspired and think of what pictures and what phrases or quotes or vibes you want to see day in and day out. So I basically just went onto Pinterest and I just saved all the pictures that I love. And obviously it's cool if you kind of go for a color scheme. As you can see, yet again, my color scheme was yellow and turquoise and white, which surprise. But you could also just go for like a really dark, moody kind of color scheme, or you could make it really light and airy, or maybe very neutral with a lot of beige and brown. That would also be so dope, I think. So yeah, just go onto Pinterest, get inspired, download all the pictures that you love, and then as soon as you have those pictures, I went onto Adobe Spark, which is where I also do all of my thumbnails and stuff, but there's actually a ton of other programs that you can use to just rearrange pictures in that sense. But as soon as you have one of those programs open, you're gonna just make sure that the screen measurements are correct. And for the MacBook Pro 13-inch, the screen measurements are 2560 and 1600. So that's what you're gonna click, and then you have the perfect screen. And then you're just gonna add a background color, because if any of the pictures are not perfectly overlapping, you're not gonna see through like a white or a black. So maybe just choose a light mint green or orange or whatever suits your mood. And then as soon as you have done that, you can just put all of the pictures that you downloaded onto this wallpaper basically and just rearrange them. And you're gonna see a sped up version of how I did it, because it actually took me quite some time to kind of rearrange them in a way that I like them. So yeah, just play with that and see how it feels, see how you like them interacting next to each other. Like, this is just a very creative process, and it's also a really open process, so you can do whatever, as I said yet again. And yeah, just experiment with it, have fun with that. And as soon as you're done, you just gotta download it, go to System Preferences, open Desktop, and then just go to the very bottom where it says this little plus and minus, and you're just gonna click the plus, go into Downloads or wherever you saved it, click that, and you have a new desktop wallpaper, which is completely customized by you, which is all that this customization really is about. So yeah, I think that is all of the tips that I have for you guys and all of the customizations that I've done to my MacBook. I do believe that the new update that has come out, which I think is called Big Sur or something, I'm not too sure, I think that they also include widgets, which this literally launched like 2 days before I'm filming this. I'm kind of pissed off about, but maybe I'm just gonna do a part 2 and see how these kind of widget things work. I guess it's the same like it is on iPhone, but yeah, I might do a part 2 if you guys are interested. But as for now, I hope you're gonna have a lot of fun with customizing your MacBook. And I will also have the wallpaper and all the posters that I used on my Pinterest, so maybe do check that out in the link below. I hope you're gonna have fun, and maybe send me some of your pictures of your customized MacBooks on Instagram. That would really be quite cool. And maybe if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. That would really mean a lot to me, and I will see you in one of my next videos.